Okay, so this was my blog post kind of reflecting on using social media in education. I have the questions over here of what we're asked to reflect on. So I'll just get started on that. My experience with social media. So I use social media not a whole lot in my personal life. I do get on Facebook from time to time, kind of catch up with friends. I do have a LinkedIn account with my resume that actually did help me get my last teaching job. Um, but other than that, I kind of have an ambivalent feeling towards social media. I think that it can be really powerful and it's great to catch up with people, but I think there's a negative aspect to it too. And I think there's more research coming out about that with, people kind of having quality of life impacts as the result of social media, but also it's just kind of a time suck. So personally, I don't use it a whole lot. Professionally, I'm starting to use it a little bit more just through being exposed to it in classes like this. There's a few blog posts. I love Teacher Tom for the preschool area, but there's a few blogs that I follow. Like I said, I use my LinkedIn, and there are some Facebook sites that are interesting for ideas. Pinterest is a great area to get ideas for learning activities. And this week I ventured into Twitter. So I created a Twitter account for a previous class and subscribed, and I'm following some educational tweets or followers, but I haven't really used it that much. So for this week, I thought, because I'm not super comfortable using Twitter, still figuring out the whole thing, that I would use Twitter. So, after looking through some of the articles for this module, I got onto Twitter. Today is Monday, and I'm going to get on the Ed Tech chat tonight. But last week I got on the ISTE and started following it on Twitter, and they had a slow chat, which I actually really enjoyed. And I think that you'll be able to see, here's my screenshot over here of my slow chat, and it was about maker spaces, which I really think are interesting. I'm not currently teaching, but my school last year, it was a preschool through 12th private school that had amazing funding, and they had this phenomenal makerspace classroom and I was teaching preschool, and we actually all got to use it, and it was infused with tech. I mean, it had a smart board, it had iPads for use for all the students, it had sewing machines, it had a 3D printer, it had all kinds of amazing things, but it also had very basic things. It had construction tubes, Legos, boxes, just anything you could think of. So I really love maker spaces. I think they're just a fantastic opportunity for students to learn through trial and error, and kind of expand their horizons. So I enjoyed this slow chat. I also liked that you could make a comment. They had a list of questions, and you could make a comment to leave and then come back at another time a little bit later and see the responses to your comments and kind of continue your discussion that way. So I appreciated that. I really enjoyed it, and I am planning on using Twitter a little bit more, probably in a professional, in a professional aspect than a personal one. I think it's a really strong tool. I think it's a great way, not just Twitter, but also, blogs and Facebook, as far as getting ideas and talking to other teachers. And I think it's great when you can do it on your own time, because we all have such limited time anymore, especially when you're teaching. The next question I'm going to address is the comfort level. I am really comfortable with Pinterest and Facebook and all that stuff. I was not so comfortable with Twitter, which is why I chose Twitter. I'm still kind of figuring the whole thing out. So, but I'm willing to dive in and use it. And like I said, I do plan on continuing on the ISTE Twitter and getting involved in the chats. And tonight I'm planning on getting into the Ed Tech chat, which I think will be very interesting as well. I found it useful. I didn't really find anything not useful. I mean, I think anytime you can get different opinions, different views, different experiences in teaching, it's great. And I think that a lot of times, when you're in a school, everyone's so busy, it's hard to kind of get into these discussions with others because everyone has such time constraints. So I think the use of social media really kind of opens that up, and you're able to do it when you do have the time, and it's quick and easy, but it's something that you can then think about for the rest of the day. So I think it's very useful. So the next question is, what are the 2 ideas about doing this that I'm going to take to professional development? In my professional development for the training plan, I incorporated a Twitter feed and a Facebook site for that professional development. And I really like this idea, and it comes back to the time constraints. And also, I think people feel a little bit more free to post questions that maybe they wouldn't want to ask in a group setting. So I think that it has a lot of use in professional development. I think you could use it during professional development and have the Twitter feed up on the Smartboard. I think this is a great way to keep in contact with the teachers after that and really have dynamic discussions and hear about their experiences from their implementing. In my case, I'm doing WebQuest for professional development, but implementing that. So I really think that this is a great tool. I'm excited by it. So that is my blog post, and I hope that I answered all the questions. I enjoyed this week just because it kind of forced me to get more into the Twitter world and figure it out a little bit more, which I've been a little hesitant to do for some reason, just because I don't know, I feel like because I've got I know the other ones and I use them, maybe I was a little bit hesitant, but I think for professional avenue, it's really a dynamic tool, and there's so much on Twitter. It amazed me how much information there is out there. I feel kind of more so than on Facebook. So I plan on using it quite a bit, and I'm getting better at it. And I think it was a really interesting week. And that is my blog post. Thank you.